All right, so this video is going to go over the part one of chapter 6. There's 4 videos in this series, and this is lesson 1. So in this lesson, we'll talk about plural nouns, subjects, verbs, and objects. And we'll also talk about prepositions. So let's start off with what you already know. So you want to choose the correct word to complete this sentence. So Anna and John have 7 childs or children. It's going to be children. Do you want tomatoes or tomatoes on your salad? Notice that I'm pronouncing both of these the same way, but the spelling is different. So the first spelling is correct with the E. There are 12 women or women and 9 mans or men in my math class. So it should be there are 12 women and 9 men in my math class. What about number 4? I left my keys to or on my desk. So it should be on. Janice was born on or in July. It's going to be in. Vanessa was born on or in December 23rd, 1997. It's going to be on. All right, so let's start off with this first chart, 6-1. So plural nouns usually end in S or ES. It depends on the spelling of the noun, particularly the what comes at the end of the noun. So for most plural nouns, you add an S to form the plural, as in the examples. 1 giraffe, 2 giraffes, 1 elephant, 2 elephants, an animal, many animals, a bird, some birds. When a noun ends in CH, SH, SS, or X, add ES to form the plural. So 1 watch, 2 watches, 1 wish, many wishes, a dress, 3 dresses, a box, some boxes. When a noun ends in a consonant plus Y, change the Y to I and add ES. So let's just talk briefly about what a consonant is. The difference between a consonant and the other form is a vowel actually has 2 potential definitions. One of them is difficult and the other one is easy. Let me tell you the difficult one first, just because I'm interested in it. So consonants are sounds that are made when the air through your mouth is somehow stopped or obstructed by your lips, by your tongue, or by your teeth. That's technically the definition of a consonant. A vowel is a sound that is not obstructed by any of those things. The simple definition is that a consonant is anything that's not a vowel. And this is easier because really there's about 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, U. And then Y can sometimes be a vowel depending on the situation. So the easy definition, a consonant is anything that is not A, E, I, O, U, or sometimes Y. So when a noun ends in a consonant, we change the Y to an I and add IES, or add ES. So you have 1 baby, 5 babies, right? If we look at the word before the Y, we have B. That's not A, E, I, O, U. So we know that it's a consonant, so we have to change it. When a noun ends in a vowel plus Y, you don't change the Y, you just add S. So 1 boy, 4 boys. Again, if you look at the letter before Y is O, and that is one of A, E, I, O, U, so it's a vowel, so in this case, we don't change. If a noun ends in F or FE, you change the ending to VES. Knife becomes knives. But there are exceptions to this rule. We don't change the F for belief, for beliefs, chief, chiefs, roof, roofs, cuff, cuffs, and cliff, cliffs. Okay? So you'll notice if you're paying attention, when we say beliefs, chiefs, roofs, cuffs, cliffs, the F sound is still there, right? But when we go from knife to knives, the sound changes from an F to a V. So in this case, the pronunciation and the spelling actually match each other, which is not always true in English. So the plural form of nouns ending with the letter O is sometimes OES and sometimes OS. For some nouns, both the plural form are correct. Both plural forms are correct, OES or OS. So look at the examples. So potatoes, pianos, and zeros. We can see for potatoes, we add ES, pianos, just S. Zeros can be written either way. Now with spell checking, this is an easy way also to help you get the right answer. Some nouns have irregular plurals. Here are some examples: child, children, mouse, mice, tooth, teeth. Some nouns have the same form for the singular and the plural. Look at the examples: one deer, two deer, one sheep, two sheep, one fish, two fish. There's no change. So there are three different pronunciations of the plural S. This is from chart 6-2. It depends on the final sound. So the final S is pronounced S, as in bus, after voiceless sounds. Voiceless sounds are sounds, examples of voiceless sounds include T, the example of voiceless sounds include T, which is pronounced ta, P, which is pronounced pa, and K, which is pronounced ka. So we have eats, caps, bikes. Pay attention to the sound at the end. The end sound of the S is S, not Z. A way for you to distinguish voiceless sounds between voice sounds is by putting your hand around your throat. And when you say t, t, p, p, k, k, you should not feel any vibration going on around your throat. We'll see the opposite of that in the next. So the final S is pronounced Z, as in buzz, after voice sounds. Examples of voice sounds include d, o, b, and all vowel sounds. So listen and repeat. Reads, jars, tolls, films, bees. So again, the way we can tell voiced sounds is by putting our hand on our throat and we'll hear a vibration. So for example, when you say duh, 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 you should feel the vibration. Compare that with t, 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 t. You don't feel the vibration. Same thing for r, o, z, or e, e. You'll feel the vibration there. And so in those cases, the sound is Z. When a word ends in SH, ch, or CH, SH, sh, or CH, ch, or S, Z, or J, the final S adds an extra syllable to the noun. Listen and repeat. Wishes, catches, glasses, sizes, wages, judges. So you'll notice each one of those is one syllable, and when we add the S, it becomes two syllables. So wish is one syllable, but wishes is two. Catch is 1 syllable, catches is 2. So let's play a little game here, looking at the parts of speech. So if we look at this one, we need to decide, is the word in green a noun or a verb? So in this one, has is a verb. Now the thing we want to keep in mind is that plural nouns and plural verbs are the opposite. So what do we mean by that? A plural noun has an S on it, but a plural verb does not have an S on it. A singular noun has an S on it, but a singular verb, a singular noun does not have an S on it, but a singular verb does have an S on it. So the question here is, we know this is a verb. Does it have an S on it? Yes, it does, at the end of has. So remember, a singular verb has an S. So this is a singular verb. Another one. Apples are usually delicious. Is this a subject or an object? So we're asking a different question here. So remember that a subject comes before the verb. In general, an object comes after the verb. So in this one, this is a subject. So then we have to ask ourselves, is this singular or plural? Well, keep in mind that subjects and in general, objects are nouns. So the rules apply the same. So if it is a plural, if it is a singular subject, it will not have an S on the end. If it is a plural subject, it will have an S on the end. This one does have an S on the end, so this is a plural subject. Take a look at this. My brother texts me every day. So we're not asking if this is a subject or a verb, or a subject or an object or a noun or a verb. It's a verb. So remember that for a verb, a singular verb has an S on the end. A plural verb does not. So this is a singular verb. I guess I already answered this question. This one is a verb. Let's take a look at this one. Notice that it's the same word. I responded to several texts. But in this case, is it a verb or an object? Remember, the verb is the action of the sentence. In this case, it's the object. It's the thing that's receiving the object. It's what you responded to. So again, subjects and objects are nouns. So singular nouns do not have an S. Plural nouns do have an S. So this one is going to be a plural object. So let's talk about subjects, verbs, and objects. An English sentence always has a subject, there's one exception, plus a verb, and it sometimes has an object. Let's look at the examples of subject, verbs, and objects. Look at these examples. Birds fly, fish swim. The subject of the first sentence is birds. The subject of the second sentence is fish. The subject comes before the verb. The verbs in these examples do not need an object, meaning you don't need to have something after them. The object of a sentence answers the question, what? Look at the first example. Birds eat insects. What do birds eat? Insects. Fish eat worms. The subject fish goes before the verb eat. The object worms answers the question, what do fish eat? Prepositions are words such as in, out, up, down, in, on, under, over, by, and with. Many English sentences have prepositional phrases. A prepositional phrase has a preposition plus an object. Look at the example. They skied down the mountain. What is the prepositional phrase in this sentence? Down the mountain. The preposition is down and the object is the mountain. A prepositional phrase can follow the object of a verb, or it can follow the verb in a sentence. Look at the examples. Lenny wrote a book about dogs. The snow fell on the trees. In the first example, the object is book, and the prepositional phrase is about dogs. In the second sentence, there is no object. The snow fell. There's no object there, but the preposition or the prepositional phrase is on the trees. We often use the prepositions in, on, and at with time expressions. Let's look at some examples. She has a piano lesson at 4:30 on Tuesdays. What are the prepositional phrases in this sentence? At 4:30 and on Tuesdays. There's actually two prepositional phrases. With on, we use on with dates, days, and with a weekend, plus mornings, afternoons, and evenings. They got married on February 14th. Her violin lesson is on Monday. We eat out on Sunday afternoons. Use in with the past, the present, the future, the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. Look at the examples. I hope to see you in the future. I'd like a cup of tea in the morning. Now, students have a lot of problems with differentiating between on and in, because a lot of languages just have one preposition for both of these. That means both in and on. When we're talking about these prepositions of time, one thing that you can think of is in means it's inside of something. So in is used for something that's big or has many parts. So when we think about the past is a big period of time, right? The present, maybe not such a big period of time, so it may not work. But the future is certainly a big period of time. Same thing, the morning is made up of several hours, as is the afternoon, as is the evening. When we compare that with on is related to something specific. One way you can think about it is that on is something that you can point to with your finger. So if you're saying on Tuesday, you can point on that day, right? On Friday, you can point on that day. We also use in with months, centuries, years, and seasons. Again, these are big things. Months are made up of many days. Years are made up of many months. Centuries are made up of many years. Seasons are made up of many years, not years, many days, and also months. We start school in September. My son was born in 2005. We are in the 21st century. The leaves are beautiful in the fall. We use at with some specific expressions. So we use at with noon, night, midnight, a specific time on the clock, and with the moment, the present time, and present. We usually have lunch at noon. She has an appointment at 3:15. I'm using the computer at the moment. Notice that the difference with at present and in the present is the word the. Also notice with the present time, even though we have the, we also have the word time, and that changes it to the preposition at rather than the preposition in. So use the words in the sentence to form sentences. Place the prepositional phrases at the end of the sentence. So we have a disordered sentence here, and we want to put it together, subject, verb, preposition, and then the object of the preposition. So this should be Hannah works at an ice cream shop. Look at the next sentence. Isn't moment here, David, the moment at? In this one, we're going to say David isn't here at the moment. There's two moments in this one, which is a little bit confusing, so we need to remove the first one. What about the next one? Alex, a class, has afternoons Monday on. So this should be Alex has a class on Monday afternoons. Has Toronto cold weather the winter in? Toronto has cold weather in the winter. Go work I 7 o'clock the morning to at in should be I go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. So for more practice, you can try the exercises on charts 6-1 to 6-5.